Howdy, welcome to the channel. And today we're going to be going over a tool that Ryobi's had for a little while. It's this power cutter, model FVC51K. So most everybody who's been into the 4-volt system actually knows that this tool has been around for quite a while. In fact, it's the one of the OGs for the 4-volt system.
Wow, these guys really are crippled.
And I've wanted it for a little while, but I really couldn't justify it because I don't do that much cutting with this. But since the channel has been growing lately and I've been doing more reviews, getting into packs like this, sometimes they're a little difficult. The power cutter's supposed to make that easier. These blister packs can kind of be a pain. And this isn't fully like what some people would consider like a clamshell blister pack, but still, they're a little tedious to get into. And if you're not careful, you can actually really hurt yourself. So that's where this little power cutter comes into. Now you can cut other things with this. I've actually seen this used in arts and craft where people use it to cut thick paper. I've seen people actually use this on cloth, which I think is a really awesome ability to do with this. So keep this in mind. Ryobi doesn't say that it will cut cloth. That was something I read on the internet.
This, Jen, is the internet.
Ryobi actually says that it will cut cardboard, plastic, carpet, rubber, and leather only. So let's go ahead and get into this, and then let's see how it does opening these different kinds of blister packs. Okay, so we have the 2 amp hour, and this is going to be the one that not only is a 2 amp hour battery but for the tools, but also has the capability of charging. And the easy way to know if your battery can charge or not is if it has the indicator light that's on it. Now, the nice thing about the indicator is it lets you know the charge level of it. If it's green, it's charged. If it's yellow, it's about midway. If it's red, it's dead.
It's just one of them things.
So let's go ahead and swap that battery out. Go ahead and put it on the charger, and I'm picking up a fresh one that is already fully charged. Now, with this tool, you'll see that there is a flathead bolt that goes into the cutter head itself, and the cutter head is supposed to be replaceable, and it looks kind of like a octagonal shape. But let me go ahead and pull that off before I even put a battery in it so we can actually look at the blade itself. So there is no blade holder that I can find on here. Usually, like on a circular saw, there's a little push button, and it actually holds the physical spindle where the blade is attached, and I don't find anything like that on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pick. I'm actually going to hold the blade itself, and then I'm going to use a flat-headed screwdriver to undo the bolt that is on here. Bolt is off, and there is our blade. And I am very, very surprised at just how thick this blade is. So that blade should actually last a really, really long time. And the other thing that I've noticed is it actually rides against this piece of metal here. And that piece of metal actually is what causes the scissor action with it. And that blade is sharp as well. So you can actually see down in here, and that bevel brings it to a point right where the two of them meet up with one another. So that's what's going to be able to actually give you that cutting action with this. So let's go ahead and put it back on. Now you'll see there is 2 alignment nubs that come off of this, and there is a line where those nubs actually line up. So you want to make sure that whenever you swap out blades that you put it back on that nub. Just like that. Let's go ahead and put our bolt back in. So now everything is placed back on, and it will function just as normal. So the cool thing about it is it is a replaceable blade, so you don't have to replace the entire tool. All you have to do is do the blade. Let's go ahead and get a battery in here. And for that, we simply grab our 4-volt USB lithium battery. I'm assuming this is the start button, and we have a safety mechanism here. So we probably will have to squeeze the safety mechanism and then press the gray. There we go. That does indeed work. If you just press the gray without squeezing here, little hands is what I'm thinking of. Little 1- and 2-year-olds trying to get their hand all the way around it. They're going to hold it up here, and they're not going to be able to activate this. So it does have a little bit of a safety feature on it by having the trigger pull here and then pressing the button. But you can see it just rotates. So let's go ahead and take this and let's try it on our first thing. First I'm going to open is some drill bits. So let's go ahead and rip into this real quick and see how it does. Like butter. That was so easy.
That was easy.
And our package is done. Our tool is out. Now let's try the picks. I love these picks. These do a really good job for getting in little nooks and crevices and stuff. Now, technically, all you have to do is pull out this piece of paper, but I don't want to do that. I actually want to use my new tool. So, there we go. And there's our tools out. Next, we're going to be doing this electric screwdriver from Bauer. Now, for those who haven't seen it, I actually have a comparison video out there between this and the Ryobi 4-volt electric screwdriver. And if you're considering this one, definitely watch that video before you buy it, because this one may actually be better for you. And in that video, I show you why. But let's go ahead and cut into this. Let's see how this blister pack does. Ooh, that one's tight, but it's not stopping. I really like that. This thing is just powering through it. That is impressive. It just powered through it. And there is 2 thick layers of cardboard and 2 thick layers of plastic that are actually in here. It's kind of difficult to see. Let's see if I can get this spread apart a little bit more.
That's what she said.
Okay, there's the bottom layer of cardboard. Then we have a piece of plastic, then we have another piece of plastic, and then the top layer of cardboard. So it's actually cutting through quite a bit whenever it does that. Let me go ahead and open up the bottom. Okay, last but not least, we're gonna open up the 4-volt flashlight with a laser. One of my sons really likes mine enough that he bought his own. And he was gracious enough to let me open this one on camera. That was amazingly easy. No problems whatsoever.
Barely an inconvenience.
That really opened it up without any issues whatsoever. I am surprised at how easily it cut through that, but more important, I am shocked at how it did with this blister pack, with how thick it was and everything that was in it. It didn't have a single lick of problem at all going through something like this. So let me clean up this mess and I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
So we've seen how well the 4-volt cutter does opening cardboard and plastic with these blister packs, but let's see how it actually does cutting some paper here real quick. So I've just got one of the Ryobi posters that list all of their different things. It's about average type of paper. Gonna go ahead and turn it on. Oh, it snagged a little bit there. Oh. Okay, so I definitely had a snag right on the bend, but other than that little snag, like that looks really good. Nice clean cut, no problems at all. I'm gonna bend it, fold it in 2, so now I'm gonna cut through 2 layers of paper and let's see if it does just as good. Let me try that again. It did really good at the start, but towards the end, it kind of got a little hung up there. Let me try the other side. First time usage, so it's probably my issue. Yeah, that went through great. All right, so one of the things I am seeing is it likes to bunch up on the back side here. At least with the paper, it does. I'm gonna go ahead and fold it again. This would now be quad. Let me see how that does. Oh yeah, much better. All right, so what I'm finding is as you pull it through, if you're trying to pull it up, as you're pulling it through, you're gonna snag it on different parts. So you need to actually keep it as level as you possibly can. And you'll definitely have a much easier time with it. Let me go ahead and see how it does with 8 layers. Should cut through it. It cut through the cardboard with no problem. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. So that looks good. Let's see how it does with some cloth. Now this is definitely a smoother cloth it is not, it's not like a t-shirt. It's almost like a polyester type material. See if we can get it to cut this. It is not cutting this material. I got a snag in it, but it is not cutting. Let me try it one more time. I'm gonna flip it over, put the rougher side towards the top. So I have the cloth all the way back. It is past the cutter, but we pull it back out. There's no cut. There's not even a snag or a nick on that. Now let's see what it does with this kind of cloth. Same thing, absolutely no cuts on it. So I don't know how people are getting this to actually cut cloth. I don't know what they're doing different than me, but I am not able to get it to cut cloth. So paper, goods, plastic, cardboard, things like that are not an issue with this, but cloth is a no-go. I cannot get it to cut any of that kind of cloth. Let me actually try a larger piece of cardboard, a thicker one, like a standard box. In fact, I'm gonna try it in a Ryobi box and let's see how that one does. Okay, so we've got the 4-volt lithium mop here, and I'm just gonna try cutting the top flap with this and let's see if it works. Like butter, no problems whatsoever. Even through the thick material that it adheres the top flap to the box.
Glue.
It cut right through it, no issues whatsoever. Okay, I've got one more box that's a little bit thicker. Let me grab that one. So here we have a really, really thick cardboard box. And this is actually, as you can tell, it holds chemicals in it. And you can see just how thick this cardboard is. It is not skinny by any stretch. I will be very surprised if it cuts through this. Even with the box knife, this is usually requires a firm hand in order to cut through it. But let's give it a shot. Let's see how it does.
It's turbo time.
I gotta say, I'm impressed. Now, this did require some force in order to push it through that section of cardboard. So if you have a weaker arm, then this may not work for you, but this is a pretty thick cardboard box. It's not the thickest, but for a moving box or heavy material, this is pretty standard, and it cut through it like butter. No problems whatsoever. So if you're cutting paper, if you're cutting cardboard, if you're cutting open those blister packs, absolutely recommend something like this. It did a wonderful job, made it really, really easy, and it was safe, and I like that aspect of it. So that covers the Ryobi Power Cutter 4-volt USB lithium system. And if it fits your use case, then I recommend you go and pick it up. If you have any questions about this particular tool or any of the tools that are behind me or any of the other videos, please be sure to leave it in the comments below. I love hearing from everybody out there, especially great comments like this one. Thank you very much for leaving that comment, and thank you for watching.